Right now, the Earth is physically breaking apart, and the official maps we use are hiding a terrifying reality. In Africa, a 60-kilometer crack has opened in the desert practically overnight, signaling the birth of a new ocean. In Antarctica, satellite images have captured a perfectly symmetrical 120-meter oval structure buried under miles of ice. Meanwhile, in Australia, continent 95% empty, a 500-600 kilometer barbed wire fence cuts the land in two. This dead zone is a place where towns turn to dust and 50,000 people are reported missing every year. Are these just geological accidents? Or are we witnessing the reset point, described 6,000 years ago by the Sumerians? When the Baghdad Museum was looted in 2003, teams ignored gold to target specific tablets detailing the Anunnaki. These gods reportedly descended from the heavens to rewrite human DNA and create a worker race for their minds. From the singing ice of the south, pulled to the boiling toxic water of the outback, the evidence is everywhere. We aren't just looking at the sky for answers anymore. We are looking at the places we are forbidden to go. Stay stuck for the next 3 minutes, because we are going to show you the footage they tried to delete. Australia is one of the most developed nations on Earth, yet its population huddles exclusively by the ocean. If you travel just a few kilometers inland, you hit a space the size of Europe with almost no people. The dingo fence isn't just for wild dogs. It marks a boundary where wild nature, or something else, sets the rules. It is saturated with salts that turn fertile, land into a white crust of death where nothing can grow. In towns like Coober Pedy, residents are forced to live entirely underground to survive the 50-degree surface heat. This is a land where the soil has been squeezed of all life over millions of years. According to geologists, why do people like Paddy Moriarty vanish from towns with only 12 residents without leaving a single track? Witnesses report the Min Min lights, bright orbs that follow solitary travelers before they disappear forever. In 1950, a car was found in perfect working order with food and water inside. But the passengers were gone. Drivers have an unspoken rule. If a strange light appears on the road at night, do not stop. Now look at Antarctica. It is the only continent with no permanent residents. Yet 7 nations fight for it. The 1513 Peary Race map shows Antarctica without ice, accurately mapping coastlines hidden for thousands of years. Who had the technology to map a frozen continent before the ice existed? History doesn't have an answer. Pilots have reported singing ice, vibrations, so loud they can be heard for 3 kilometers across the tundra. Radars have detected perfectly shaped voids beneath the Gamburtsev Mountains, suggesting a hidden ancient city. Some believe this is the location of Atlantis, described by Plato as a kingdom of gold and bronze. In 2012, an oval structure 120 meters long was spotted. It's too symmetrical to be a natural formation. Is this a relic of the Third Reich's rumored Base 211? Built in the 1930s for secret research. Deep beneath the ice lies Lake Vostok, a 15-million-year-old ecosystem isolated from our world. If we break the seal on these underground ovens, what ancient forms of life will we release? In 2019, a perfectly rectangular iceberg was discovered. Nature almost never creates straight lines like this. This brings us back to the Anunnaki, the beings the Sumerians said came from the 12th planet Nibiru. Sumerian texts describe them as giants who were taller than humans and wore strange, identical helmets. They carried bags that appear in ancient art across the globe. From Mexico to Mesopotamia, they were surrounded by Emelim, a radiance or energy field that inspired fear and awe in humans. The Sumerian king lists records rulers who reigned for 36,000 years. Were they biological or something else? Suddenly, their reigns dropped to decades. This change happened immediately after the Great Flood. The flood wasn't an accident. Ancient texts say it was a reset point to control a growing population. Evidence of a catastrophic silt layer has been found in Iraq, dating to the end of the 3rd millennium. 80% of ancient cultures have a flood myth. Science confirms sea levels rose 120 meters after the Ice Age. The 2003 looting of the Baghdad Museum looks like a targeted removal of these secrets. Were they hiding the proof of genetic intervention? Look at the skulls of Queen Puabi and Akhenaten. These skulls have 25% more volume and different bone structures that can't be explained by binding. DNA analysis on some finds revealed anomalies that do not match any known human DNA. The Anunnaki reportedly created humans to bear the burdens of the gods. In ancient gold mines, traces of organized mining systems have been found in Africa, dating back to a primitive era. In Gabon, a natural nuclear reactor at Oklo ran for 100,000 years without any human help. Was this natural? Reactor actually a power source for the beings who watched us? In Ethiopia, the 11 churches of Lalibela were carved straight down into solid rock, not built up. This construction provides stability against seismic shifts, essential for a zone that is currently splitting. Africa is splitting into two plates, the Nubian and the Somalian, moving at 7 millimeters per year. In 2018, a family in Kenya watched as the floor of their home literally vanished into a crack. This wasn't caused by a flood. The crack follows the ancient tectonic line of the African rift. Scientists have discovered a Victoria microplate beneath the rift that is slowly rotating counterclockwise. This rotation is causing the Earth to crack chaotically, like glass being pressed from different sides. The source of this power is the African superplume, a giant pillar of heat rising from the Earth's core. This heat is creating alien landscapes like Dalol, where the water is so toxic it is sterile. It is the only place on Earth where water does not mean life. It is a preview of a new ocean floor. To the south, Lake Natron turns animals into stone, statues through its extreme alkaline chemistry. But the greatest danger is invisible. In 1986, Lake Nyos released a gas cloud that killed 1,700 people instantly. These rifts are valves that release the pressure of a planet that is constantly in motion. We are seeing the same patterns: mass disappearances, extreme heat, and forbidden zones. Is the reset a cycle that happens every few thousand years when humanity gets too loud? 92% of the planetary reformatting is complete, according to some ancient interpretations. We have progressed from stone tools to space technology in a blink of geological time. This leap is cited by many as evidence of external intervention by those who watched us. The forbidden zones are the front lines of this change. That is why they are being guarded. We are no longer just looking at the sky. We are waiting for a response from the depths. The reset isn't a theory. It is a geological certainty. The only question is, are you ready? Subscribe to uncover the truth they don't want you to know. The cycle is beginning again.